perspective taking aberration for my rationality. I stop and pass outside myself, squint at my reality.
I've isolated myself, breathing and heaving, melancholy and dreamy, unable to uncover the meanings. Suspecting that I'm constantly rearranging the meetings, suffocation during seasons, believing the melody makers feeling exhausted and somewhat needy.
My perspective cuts with several separate edges to dissect my day-to-day into segments I can digest. Through this lens I bend balance to lend avenues of concrete cues to my senses.
And anywhere you go, thoughts, I'll be there for you. Lying in my engram, pining for my dreams, unload the prototypical self in search for the flight of ideas.
Translations of thoughts are intertwined and designed to reiterate the signs. Murder in the mind, transfixed on rays of the sun. Voices echo and hum, found within the blackness of these lungs. It's just the distance between the hunt.
At my vantage, threads are pulled from canvas and used to stitch split scars pulled apart. The concern is reworking a former person into a new window to reflect the outer environment.
Purposefully, I'm half a concept embedded in the objects of my affectedness. Caught up, crawled up, dolled up, crammed in a space, living in my face.
We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. In my circumference, trapdoors are marked with X's. The basement steps to my dark room where scenes are developed. I crop smiles from the teeth to embellish effigies of relics pixelated in 12-bit.
Time is changing, constantly reiterating, feeling the breath devastating, purposely mistaking, neglecting this body aching. Escape creativity, snuggle up in mazes, step back and feel the faces. I'm shifting between dreaming and waking, counting my fingers for a break.
Ignorance is in my glasses, half expensed and pills filled with divine interventions. And whence I compose a frame of reference, my solution feels irreverent and recompensed.
And when the last season ends, we'll be fielding grievances, pounding away the fenced-in scenery with bleeding fists. These are the means of growth, a new view discovered by few to hit the mark, speaking on cue.
We're touching and tasting, savoring each hostile movement, howling for the moon to save us, energy draining, craving backward thoughts, a temporal pause as these disassembled parts begin rearranging.
Time exports a score of images I've contrived, fighting with winded lungs to fight the frail demon she'd idolize. My perspective is unrested, festering from her purple heart. I'm always ending before my limits allow me to start. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors. We full blown, not blindfold on, fall on ourselves in a house of mirrors.
The sun sets on a house built of regrets. Hear the wisdom spread from the days of the dead. We are the echoes that were left, standing guard with our battle scars. The evening star guides us from afar. Can it be that it was all a dream? Rest between these breaths, digest the intellect and say what is left. My God, it's odd how the clouds depart. Chest grows heavy, can you hear the beating of my heart? This is just the start. We get born of the flesh, we must progress, escape out of the shell and make amends. Speak with ease as the lakes release. Love is sweet, hate makes us weak. I fall to my knees whenever the trees exercise the speech. Caught in another trap was said, the visions burn out west.
We've all
fall to our deaths, chasing success, a never-ending quest, living in the West.
Out here on our own, alone, with just a glimmer of hope. The energy is home, trying to make it home.
We fall to our deaths, holding our breath, the final exit before you leave the West.
The roots of success to the sky, your thoughts of sin. Can't tell the difference between the beginning and end.
Living in the rhythm, you can lose yourself, but you can prove your wealth if you use intelligence. Repel against the walls, climb beyond the stars, to steal your light and revise the laws that separate space. You can levitate in place, meditate and pray to escape without a trace. No evidence of existence, erase the faces. Become a number whose values ever changing. Now you weather rain in all these seasons. Deep in your being you can define each reason to climb inside a region where you'll reside, to find that peace beside the great divide. Try to change your mind but it draws you back. The magnetism's intense and it opposes action. It knows your past and guides you in the present towards success and never-ending treasures. We fall to our deaths, chasing success, a never-ending quest, living in the West.
Out here on our own, alone, with just a glimmer of hope. The energy is home, trying to make it home.
We fall to our deaths, holding our breath, the final exit before you leave the West.
The roots of success to the sky, your thoughts of sin. Can't tell the difference between the beginning and end.
We fall to our deaths, chasing success, a never-ending quest, living in the West.
Out here on our own, alone, with just a glimmer of hope. The energy is home, trying to make it home.
We fall to our deaths, holding our breath, the final exit before you leave the West.
The roots of success to the sky, your thoughts of sin. Can't tell the difference between the beginning and end.
There are signs of life, but it remains mechanized inside. My sundial designed to function without light. Veins are tangled in wires, bodies are firewalled, shaved bald, and coated with silicon. The sphere revolves, buttons stop motion, with buttons controlling the speed, so days change randomly. The anatomy, stagnant with convenience, a rat without a wheel, so the lifespan decreases. Hapless in weakness, solely over-sterilized with pesticides, pasteurizing every meal. So all we feel are the steel hands of the clock, beating away calmly at each day's prominence. Ultimately the continents will reconnect with magnets as these advances overtake the land from the masses.
the cataclysms of space. We invade, eradicate the technological race, erase cybercore and the ambient force before the resistant forms. Wise and tapped, the circuits adapt to run the gun with barrels of fun. Energy expended from the sun results in the extinction of one. Programmable channels, conductors wearing flannel, telescopic, tropic, isolated incidents are systematic, arithmetic, neurological, hypnotic gases, free flowing, growing polarity, shifting computers are animated robotics. It's all sonic, plutonic, bionic men and women, phenomenal powers. No more correspondences of hunger, no longer in view of the different shades of hues. It's all part of the landscape we used to remember. It's quite remarkable, numeric and graphic, geographic, geological humans in transit. Transmit frequencies at a higher bit rate to increase capacity of the brain. Scatter matter without the chitter chatter, adapt. Paranoia, cope with mass hysteria. Adamant with salivating salamanders. Time capsules contain language barriers. Gamma rays pulsating orbits have become morbid. Horrid nightmares and dreams run the rampant. Symbiotic, frigid, gigantic. It's all relevant. The past, the future, and the present. Time traveling, babbling, rambling. Clocks are managing and battling to keep the structure from unraveling and shattering to please the planet's inhabitants.
Days awake from 8 straight nights. They came of age before the instruments were even played right. He was holding the bagpipes while just watching the procession. The crowd was lost in the melody, leaving a deep impression. It speaks lessons and echoes through sleep, love, and death. They forever hear it while they eat, and during each new sunset there's a feeling of unrest, because these notes will repeat and never leave. It's the same melody playing throughout every reverie. Every single day, these bells still ring the same. The call from kings to slaves that we all sing in the rain. Every single day, these bells will ring the same, still echoing through your brain, lingering to the grave. Every single day, these bells still ring the same. The call from kings to slaves that we all sing in the rain. Every single day, these bells will ring the same, still echoing through your brain and never fading away.
Lift your head and feel the rays. The bells continue to toll despite the rains, echoing out this symphony. We walk through the marsh gingerly. Everything you'll ever need is within your reach. Still some of us never been able to sleep and seldom speak, sitting on the bench by the sea, just lost within our own grief. Sacred like the wind that seems to carry the leaf. Tell me, what is the difference between you and me when the silence suffocates the screams and shatters dreams? It's a perilous night where the stars continue to shine bright. From above the clock tower you can see the horror and feel the sorrow. Listen to these bells ringing, for they are the voices of the children, relentless in their speech. We stare and all counting down the days, unable to savor the taste, because we were weak, afraid, but we'll carry this fear to our graves. Afraid we will only end up alone, lost in our shame, and there's no one else to blame. Whether you're young or old, we travel this road with aspirations and hope to one day live up to these goals. But we're both just tiny pebbles buried beneath the soil, and every single day we give everything we have in hopes that our words aren't smothered and forgotten amidst the turmoil.
Every single day, these bells still ring the same. The call from kings to slaves that we all sing in the rain. Every single day, these bells will ring the same, still echoing through your brain, lingering to the grave. Every single day, these bells still ring the same. The call from kings to slaves that we all sing in the rain. Every single day, these bells will ring the same, still echoing through your brain and never fading away.
blood curdle with a rhyme from red and a beat blessed by circles. Heads hurt from woes after a verse. It shows that we're versatile with our flows. Though our coach chose to fall in love with that G shit. Falls underground, on the low like a secret. I speak it like a native tongue, Southern Cali native son. Where the babies play with guns and shady in this LA sun. Maybe one day this shit can all change up. Instead of banging the hood, we can bang this cut. I thank this cup that I'm holding right now. Got your nigga on one, still I'm sipping it down. Stripping it down, taking off the shellac and stain. Through the grills and platinum chain, all sounding the same.
I make a mic melt, a right deal, you'll get killed. Here's a whipping for your tush, got kush, forget milk. Can you feel it? I'm a G, no technical difficulties. Think of the lungs, stronger the wind, bigger the breeze. Like Chucky after my cheese, don't fuck with afterlife MCs. These verbs rip, a wordsmith, master the mic with ease. I break the fingers of thieves, dragging them, scraping their knees. I'm raw, the official dog, always taking their fleas. Rip a clean 16, then quickly fleeing the scene. Didn't get the treat, you got the treat, that's what you get for being a fiend. TNT supreme, on the mic, a monster, the thing. I think I got the clue, that Susie just wanted the cream. Success is one of my dreams, gotta turn it to a plan. But I'm about to strike again, when this mic is in my hand. You just running your mouth, you don't wanna get it on. MC, toilet bowl, it's time to get shitted on.
Excretion, deletion, you push the wrong button. You frontin' will put it on something dead when you're gone hunting. You're stunting for nothing, under your breath grunting. When I speak you listen, call me E.F. Hutton. Yeah, I'm King Tutton flares, or rockin' windmills. We keep clocking in tails while you keep popping in pills. So the wheels fall off, we keep driving it. Skills stay on top, riding it. High definition, heartbeats live in it. Can't hold me back, there's no fighting it. You might get it like it when you get met. Don't be frightened, this is epic. Stop following. Smells like your think tank was swallowing septic. Your hollow points get emptied into your hollow head. Your brains are victim part of the wall instead. When all was dead, we picked it apart. Get off of me, I'm proving prophecy. You were infected by the lies found on the autopsy of your false philosophy. Still ain't no half-stepping, there ain't no stopping me. We're doing the most properly as my world respect my property.
Offering is an opportunity for lifetime. You can say what you want, you can do what you want, you can even bite my rhyme. I'll give you that respect, then try to twist off your neck. Drag your body and stretch, your arms along with your legs, till they disconnect from your torso. Leave it in a little town called Corsico, not too far from the Indian casino and go play bingo. A little blackjack, watch Elvis, maybe catch a comedy act. That's my alibi, it wasn't me. News all over the TV. FBI trying to find if there's a way to get in my mind. They say he was missing the spine. The killer is smart and pretty unkind. Only thing left behind is killing caught, alright? You had your turn to try to spit words. Nigga fish, the hell is mine.
Original Gelroc, I run up in your space with max intensity. You feeling the bass, the blast from the intensity. Yeah, you running your mouth, it don't make sense to me. I'm an old school taste of the past, relentlessly killing MCs at a pace too fast for you to question and ask. Not to mention you ask, you shall receive. We some world-renowned MCs. If you think you can step, then come and spit. You should be concerned to know we'll be the first to let you know we got you feeling vertigo. You really don't deserve the flow. Yeah, principle and personal. From physical to virtual, they think they parallel, but we really vertical. Underground and versatile. These raps are terminal, so go rehearse your show before we draw the motherfucking curtain close.
I'm a product of my pops, a prodigal son that's lost. Guns blazing, pistols cock. I was raised in different spots. When I was a kid, I didn't listen. They disciplined me for all of my faults. As a result, I ended up in the system with the guilty conviction as an adult. Participated in a couple of missions at an assault. They gather all the veterans that had me through a matter of the court. Committee admitted they see me sitting in the hole until the day I parole. Claiming I'm an animal doing damage and I'm just out of control. But I just wanted to be compatible to that average Joe. The bad habits I used to have, I don't have them no more. But I'm still a savage, you wanna battle, you want the medical ward. I got medals galore for being the better veteran of war. Pedal to the floor to go head up and settle any score. I seen you on Facebook, you was posing like a fag. You get smacked in the face with an EX2 slap tag.
I could be a bum on the lark or the scum on a shark. The tea tree with poisonous bark. I'll sign no treaties and give out no freebies. I'll let autocorrect decide now which direction regret should go. The crickets crow, I give it the special attention it needs to grow and bestow. Free speech to each leaf so I can know the innermost emotions of the soul. Transform into a bull born in order to hold the whole swarm. I should be swole, but I suffer from attention deficit and forget to deadlift, so I drift with the west wind and abandon the predestined. Demand the clandestine, we command that vessel through a tsunami cresting. But you're a shipwreck next to the best that wreck shop. You finally made it modest, products that mimic hardship. Hollow gimmicks, don't shine without that polished finish. Sweating in the outer limits.
Preparation, precipitation, perspiring, prescribing to the signs of a dying while flying. Wounded, winded, wrinkled, wingless, agile like gymnast, bird and bacon, aching,
vacant, smothering in a city forsaken. Women on stilts, kill or be killed. It's the motto of those ruled by sin. Ignorance is bliss, aggression, oppression. Making something out of nothing is the true essence of perfection. Broken, stolen moments, hopeless, engrossed in crime, derived from a deviant mind. Time and time again, the pendulum swings, excreting its energy, tuned to the sun's melody. Heavenly stars, melancholy in their assembly. Envision these visions of symphonies and precision. Incisions to remove infections. Now practice physicians, practice patience on patience. This is the consciousness awakening.
We traced and tracked them, defaced and trashed them. Grabbed their albums, they were erased and backspun. Here we're standing, the modern era standard of a king's ransom, singing this anthem. Proceeding to the streets where MCs meet fate. A parade waving white flags, hoping to be saved. They're praying at their knees, watching the sky. We built the wall, there's no exit in sight. Or breath left inside, so they fell silent. This track's on measure, but by the end it's timeless. Running the court with giants who got no offense. Leaving in a coffin, it's the Western Conference. Time takes by the minute, each is filled with sentences. It'll stop when you recognize my penmanship. The ink is venomous, putting the listeners to bed, while the beat plays on, echoing through your head.
I stand sagging while my barrels flame. 16 heads hang from my belt. Rhyme with the sport, hoggy ways snort. Bet my pen fuels a deadly blast retort. Echoes of a rebel, mic grip, a classical limp. The potent of a molten lava fill, but it's only Satchel. I have a theme for the stand with the mic at the apex. Suckers they hold, I will caress. First I impress like the canvas Picasso. I start the merciful when the curtains pull. The juggler, suckers taste copper. Killing spree, that the cleaners leave mystery. The bass turned up, turn up the century. Pen playing, spontaneous, my brain thing. Torturous way to slay. Soft underbellies, they confetti. That drops when the 808 sped through they city. My legacy, my pedigree, I floss. And suckers ask the cost, but I flow off. And I ain't monkey cause my legacy beyond prone, brushed off by journal leaves.
Giovanni Marks, GCL, H&R, LA to the Bay, plus BJB, and some other stuff I'm not gonna say. You know me, undercover brother, baby play on the radio. After midnight, quick tracks, moving in concert with some searchlights. No TV, I keep it really crap, and I know the ledge. Competition's never been an issue, not in this dimension. Any gradient of volume, you just feel the radiation. Favorite color, monochrome, vocal style, monotone, vocal wild, local profile, under prep, way, damn. Rock like Gale, E-Time 2 programs. Southern California, where we write dope jams. Complex with the text, way too hard to
almost
exam.
shift, trippy kid up on the net. I'll be slippery when wet, and don't you ever forget I be smoking with the set. Girl, did you and regret? Best believe that I'm a vet. Metastopheles, my pet. My monopoly's a threat. You think it's stopping me? Let's bet. I mean the thought of me, it oughta be, it gotta be jet set. Let's get the debt back from the devil's daughter. I'ma fill up my backpack with the things he bought us. So fuck them all, I'ma get mine and scram. Wild boy, Dr. Duran Duran. Style on toys with a can in hand. They be like stereotypical, goddamn he's the man. Mic stand plan to kill the bland and eradicate. Now couple up toys and then I call that shit Watergate. You oughta wait for those just tuning the radio. I'm walking on stardust and changing the ratio.
Tweak falsehood to peak fake, to leak small woes, to seed faith, feed tall roads, heed hate, an outline for me to fill and fend off a trick wall with a skeleton Keely. I can't depend on anybody to crutch. I'm a force guided step and mysterious, and so I won't. And I'm from that run with the tall with the seed of wisdom. I'm a force-fit Mysterian in a thronged mirage of men. They fixate on convention, coveting throws the peddled lens. They tally ink on skin with surveillance. I've covered my stance to win captains on my fence. Dearest of armor, marveling uncharmed by twice curt statements, assuming feminine downfall is wrought of renovations. Like a thrift store prom whore passed to her dime, depositing slots of far-fetched to turn wishes into fines. So cast me into cities with half-mass lacking wind, cause balls from that accident score more perfect than I'm in. My threats play with plagues, today's conscious invent, and obviously incompetent when compared to cliques of friends. me, chain linked to a magnet, erecting buildings, stretching a height contest. I dub my eyes as stilt with angst for rest, and a swelling name to press against the glass plate between your surface face and what you've etched. I'm that certain person cursed with a fully peeled chest, without the chrome skin vehicle to change your eye course. I'm daily pushed toward the vacant pillar space. I can't admit to my sister that I'm afraid of faucets and floorboards, or else I'd shed a picture from her balancing beam bend. One side with an image of her perforated floors about to give. One side saw water carved to catch the contours of her scars. I'd like to say the seed I rode away on from the fenced-in scene was the magnification of a cupping head I've needed for 20 years, of summoning the moon for sleep. An outline for me to fill the fin off a trick wall with a skeleton. Keely, nobody to crutch a misguided step and fallen, so I won't at all.
Remember when we'd set up shop, write a verse and roll up cops, dispersing thoughts and thinking of plots, and add a roll on a double shot. Kettlebells and 100 squats, but I still can hold this weight. Elements plus quicker thoughts, serving them seeds up like hot plates. Cause I crusade the space invaders, man, get up out my face. Give it a room to run the room and rule the roots and rock the stage. No complaints, create the ambiance with a shot in the IPA. Went from a collar and a 40 to a blue moon and an IRA. Ever get past the tearing the path that will break to stake my claim. Make my name based off perception while reality becomes a strange. Rhythm rider spitting fire, rather kill than die in vain. Taking a stab, creating the path, blame it on the right side of the brain. And the onus is on my owners, while my vices stay in corners. A little booze to blur the borders, puff some earth for lucid moments. Lucid floozies with disorders, play for company, pong quarters. Dope MCs from California, flip shit and straight destroy this.
This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. Cause this is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over.
We pulled the finger to the bone, singer from microphone, and glazed the stage with the ageless sand broken from stone. That's geology, analog geometry, three shapes breaking space into unsettled colonies, populated with pollen, spread on the wind, spit from the lips. We reminisce in the thoughts of the fallen move within. A true beginning ends in flames, rearranged when the blade grazes your face and your empty thoughts escape. They make moves but lose ground. The sound is off but needs layers of gauze to soak the open clothes and the curtains shut. Their butt out, assed out and passed out. It's a tragic chasm that was clearly mapped out from the beginning. Now back to the end and the book was shut. Cover to cover, lover to lover, cast in solid rubber. That standard issue to misuse the crews that fell to the wayside of this Andalou regicide.
This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. Cause this is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over.
Remember when unwritten whims dimmed lights on open mic night, and Pony 4-4 punchlines were hardly used, if not moved. But who's asking for you? I am. Wanna go 60 minutes verse my improv technique and knowledge. Drawing out of lines end up like Mike Wallace in a closet, and all that's lost to some kid with weak thoughts. That that's no skin off our anatomy, no threat to our academy. Got your ghost right mad at me, actually asking if he could bask in my bright light and lick the rim off my flask and track down my tracks and blast my trap door as if more adoration is motivation. But I rode the waves of aggravation and called it my vacation. Came home with MC souls and some more fans to add bandwidth to this damn station. Fade patience with the cadence that brings back that who's ever found it collapses the situation.
This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. Cause this is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over. This is just a little bit of what we reminisce over.
Escape artist.
InDepth.
Roneous.
I'm the subtle, outspoken, that large shine like stars twinkle. Lost the lost wrinkle in time for private jingles. Delve the depths of one last breath. Epitaph of one last laugh where inner flames can backdraft and backstab. Random access to the fruits of our utopia. Open the entrance, I'm over the fences. Wandering inches through the darkness. Hands in front of my chest just to feel the shards of access. Searching for my precious at the core with the peasants. Along the presses, the heart of martyrs ventured westward. And for all the yes, y'all, a subtle note echoed through fool's gold and roads now closed and sound froze. I'm really told the cold truth and turn I told fools. My mind like ancient tombs of jewels. Got me formulating coups with haikus, crooning under the moon to serenade the doom.
Before night falls, everything remains hopeless. The drowning overtures lasting on precious within this afternoon focus. Tragic moments, epilogues, echoes that set the world in motion. I dwell beneath these misty blades, shaking woven and shaped to rearrange the similarities between time and space. Seasons change, let us lost, feelings and affections engraved in this place. I wander through these days I reign, searching for sun rays, tormented on Sundays, just welcoming in the mundane. And I'm succumbed to the sin, the voices forgotten in the mist, but the illusion is depth, emblems of obscurity and death. Summer is ending with human imagery, strewn everywhere like fragmentary objects, exhausted by dreams, shattered by the sublimated intensity of these hopes that howl and
Ever
bleed.
since the segments of the earth's surface were severed, I slept apart from frame and feather, using the wilderness as a bed set. Beyond the tree line hides the rise of each new sequence, and in time it all combines to compile each of these seasons. Because the sun runs random state and still helps build a picture, pixel by pixel, inch by inch, until it all becomes visible. Now we have a map to track these travels, steadily treading sand and stone, and at last that soil resettles while the planet stands alone.
Beliefs and bounds, we can wait for your appearance and all your social rounds. Mommy's doing good, I think I can sense your smile. We can wait to have you in our arms and look at you for a while. The promise of new life, it beams like the sun. You're a magic little bliss illuminating into one. And as it is, we can't but glimpse the brightness of our new solar friend without the fear of blindness. Neither can we gauge into your brilliance to see, but tomorrow will bring your next day of discovery. And I don't know what the future destiny holds for you. Stars will arise of matter to one venue. You will choose on what celestial path you wish to wander. And we do wonder, like if lightning struck thunder. We planted all the good things that give you a life start, because we keep a garden of the heart, fostering and nurturing the seeds of self-esteem. I'll be your example and encourage you to dream. Although this your own, but the journey of your life will never be yours alone.
by the birds on the steeple at the church.
When these words lose their worth and the world's cursed, we round up the clergy to observe the rebirth.
When the rain hits the earth and washes away dirt, first heard by the birds on the steeple at the church.
When these words lose their worth and the world's cursed, we round up the clergy to observe the rebirth.
When the lightning strikes and the fires ignite and fuel my soul, inspire me to write. The thunder claps with raps wrapped in the backpack, abandon the past life, hitchhike with a knapsack, blast back with a new way. Thank God for new days. Always gotta be myself, live like the true way. Ignore negativity, never mind what you say. Admire the black crows attacking a blue jay.
When the sun don't shine, we move at will, never losing the feeling that we use when we build. It's a proven skill, so the rest falls in place. We don't stall or wait or drag a ball and chain. That's the freedom. Every line matches even with rhyme and reason. A song for every season, and we're leaving no work, no place for reverse, no waste of space during the rebirth.
When the rain hits the earth and washes away dirt, first heard by the birds on the steeple at the church.
When these words lose their worth and the world's cursed, we round up the clergy to observe the rebirth.
When the rain hits the earth and washes away dirt, first heard by the birds on the steeple at the church.
When these words lose their worth and the world's cursed, we round up the clergy to observe the rebirth.
If the levee breaks and leaves me broken and stranded, cancel pity parties cause the help was demanded. We had heard about it but hadn't really planned for it. People blaming the victims and I don't really stand for it. I'ma be a man for it, care for the family. Look past the broken mirror trying to find the man in me. Definitely damaging, but won't it be great? By the end of the year we will have a clean slate,
and we'll turn a new page as we finish the story. Never forgetting those who came before me. Far from ordinary and never quite the same since I broke away the chains, fighting for change. It's been a life in the game, that's the price you pay. You can turn away and take it in vain, but I chose to remain and dig into the earth until I hit the other side and find my rebirth.
When the rain hits the earth and washes away dirt, first heard by the birds on the steeple at the church.
When these words lose their worth and the world's cursed, we round up the clergy to observe the rebirth.
When the rain hits the earth and washes away dirt, first heard by the birds on the steeple at the church.
When these words lose their worth and the world's cursed, we round up the clergy to observe the rebirth.
The rebirth, the revival. The rebirth, the revival. The rebirth, the revival. My culture survival. The rebirth, the revival. The rebirth, the revival. The rebirth, the revival. My culture survival. To elevate the rebirth. The rebirth. The rebirth. The rebirth, the revival. The rebirth. The rebirth. The rebirth. The rebirth, the revival.
May I take a little time to find out the truth about this here so-called life, or I'm unwilling to compromise. So please, Mother, may I, for my heart tells me to swim against the tide. Despite the shimmer and glimmer of these riches I leave behind, these clouds are trying to dampen my smile, as the pressures and the pain are driving me insane. It's just a matter of time before
in a stop-motion standstill moment, I'll corrupt the texture clay of my face, pulling inward with the force of sinkholes, my furrowed brow. I'm pounding aloud about the stories, strain the pace. I'm jogging against your dismay. For you, I build fences, defensiveness utterly perfect, compliance, finalizing what I'm beating the sky in. I'm perfectly silent, cracking quietly in a petri dish of your seed.
When the bow breaks, you fall and come of age. My arms will swing freely until that day. I tip the bottle, tread in the water that spills. Free your will is still lifelike, it looks real till you peel back the paint. Fate is the gray behind the makeup and smile, training away the child. What you're left with is an empty vessel, a sign of transgression to pull the kid away with a death grip.
Just abusing head trips, whips and sticks, taking back a piece of myself every time I slip these wrists. Just aching and aching, taking and making a man out of this flesh that is forsaken. Mama says you gotta bring home that bacon. Misunderstood, I can never be like you, never could not dream like you, never could not bleed like you. Due to that my soul will forever stay true. Due to that my soul will forever stay true.
Well, it's cost of living versus quality of life. So take an estimated guess and call me if the price is right. Well, from birth to death, God bless the child with fresh style, love, and purity for the language. Since his first breath, first words, and first steps, till he's eventually stripped of insecurity, blanket due to life's trials and everyday obscurities, washed by the ways of the world. When he eventually loses all innocence and becomes lost in a sense. No self-esteem to match his confidence, just helpless feelings of being so low. Yeah, an old soul with a young heart, looking for an easy end to a rough start. Aimless in this game of trivial pursuit, he remains misguided youth, confused and torn, abused and scorned, still searching for his true form, to be free as a newborn.
So everyone wants to win over hearts, skating into a gold medal parent-made spotlight. Maturity is stage fright. I'm a daughter of their disillusion. They pry at my capabilities and will in unison while I chant a song that goes, question mark. Is it behavior or biology that makes up my art? Meanwhile, I throw myself blind like dust into a desert of deserted occupational lust.
Now begins the cycle, 40-hour weeks beneath the light bulb, a life dedicated to the bottom line. Cigarettes to stop the time. You can unwind and catch faith, but drop a place in the rat race. Gone are the days of piggybacking pigtails and pigskin. You hit the pillow and wake up the next instant, trapped in routine, captive in the American dream. You search for meaning, but things are not what they seem.
Fresh from facets, force-fed and bloom the depicted visions. My mind sport flickering, scrap floors, it's the last few sickle cells staring down epiphanies. World and reverie where stars won't December me. Rewind the backlash, dark plastic emblem bleed. Soon spent like match made descent, often masked by kids removed from means intent.
So we line them all up from left to right. It's a single file march to death tonight. We don't step right, even on thin ice, till the crescent moon breaks through midnight. That's the pulse, the beat still echoes. You tried to let go, but we're pulled into the metronome. The rest were stoned, tarred and feathered, laying on their backs, staring at the heavens.
You've been forewarned, don't look so forlorn, that the earth turns and the ashes in the urn burn. Graph the universe's temperature, guaranteed to see cascading integers in a line, kind of like a sidewalk. Concoct the cement at sunset, set the stopwatch, let your feet drop. Formerly known as the code of the streets, let's all call it the ethos of the concrete.
Getting money, nothing funny, hit me up on payday. Setting sunny, stupid dummy, caught up in the melee. They say y'all holler when y'all follow my skill, y'all. But babies and Paula needs my dollar bill, y'all. Gangsta bitches be my designated drivers. In stereo style, straight resonated live. And thanks to the stitches, I'm a grade A survivor. There we go for miles with them grade A connivers.
Shadows and sidewalks, the beat hot like asphalt. The minotaurs are much more stupider than cyborgs. Spiders and pythons, sentence written are cried on. From the top of the hill I watch the fog rise and fall. Let bygones be bygones, I envision the night malls, alone with the thoughts and the spiraling arms. It's the smell of success, the scent of regrets. A smile without a laugh is like a thunder without a clap.
Lights in the phoenix sky, birds on fire on the horizon. Orbs in formation on a tour of the state. Flooding calls to the FAA seems irrefutable, a beautiful sight. Explained away as flares, they dare to contradict. In the grip of fear, switch gears and downplay 10,000 eyewitness accounts. A V-shaped craft comes back like anniversaries. Information, force and communication. Documentaries of unaccidental emissaries.
The elements occupy unallocated storage, supplying the shortage, defying the fortress with the calibrated vortex, endless ease and nexus. The deuces are wild as eating honeybees for breakfast. 20 trees fresh as evergreen spread, then shed deciduous rather than strenuous breath. No prejudice, just threads, led thus to bed, dust bust the spread. With the carcass gushing, rushing red, my royals flushing, folding head, rushing, holding the bread.
Ilvoidian branch, some planetary MCs with that cosmic creed, genetic crossbreed. Dropping topics in hot degrees, toxic debris, temperature freeze. So release your interstellar demons and approach the cosmic hope when you lost all hope. Abstract retransmit with enhanced spit. Time bandit shifting through sands of time, telekinetic pantomimes. To advance to find the higher source. Ride the iron horse to holy matrimony or divine divorce.
Don't off until doomsday. No one understands the same tomahawk Indian headdress. Casting stars in the palms of nuclear bombs. Cosmic odyssey, I Galileo, Teflar, waxing gibbous, set the controls to the heart of the sun. It's the own gun. Satisfaction throughout the crucifixion, killing the Vatican's addiction. I'm just an ordinary citizen, exit the mind. 4 horsemen, it's an animal holocaust, stuck in neutral. On my way through your iron gates. Heaven waits in just one more stage.
Flat-balled tires, terrified, tired, walking the caffeine high wire, spinning head of vertigo, I feel the rust of old cars. With broken wings, we are launched into the stars. White dwarves and red giants, burnout is imminent, our destinies are one, on different scales. Light is liquefied, withdrawn by the unknown, like chocolate milk through a straw, leaving only an empty glass at the end of the road. Oh, the guilt of being defined, against opinions that are underlined in blood, drowning in mud, patience is tugged, dreams are tucked away in the junk drawer, scars acquired over the years are placed into a backpack that's carried everywhere, an exertion that leaves muscles watered like standing askew outside the unfocused operation. Nothing remains but shadows of memories and occupations. We work half-hearted, tradition's been divorced, convenience is running rampant through the rafters. It's quite clear we're neophytes at life, counting cracks in the sidewalk. I've walked in search of a place empty of illusion. All I found are more illusions, bringing more confusion. I find myself placing faith in tomorrow, to find the fire smoldering deep inside that I can borrow, to fuel the furnace and melt the frost that is collected on my dreams.
I'm now breaking through the placing of hanging rugs and wallpaper, rearranging the decorations and painting over the remainder. It's just a reminder, time spent to a watchless risk. So now breaking orbit is normalcy and reading the future's common sense. That's just the first hint to a new era of unawareness, where we carry crystal balls to the core, we to be broken to open quotes. And we're holding close watch over the shoulders of passing traffic, until the risk becomes habit and any pattern happens on accident. Eventually the frame will release while the borders break free, creating a flat plane stretching apart aimlessly. Still the outcome remains to be seen, so my chips are fixed upon the table, stapled to lay against the sway, faithful as any wager.
Summon the sun for just a glimpse of a love, sacrificing myself in order to rid myself of wealth, while the noblest of nobles who run at the mere mention of hopelessness. Regrets are fed to repay our debts, giants are slain through legendary tales of servants in pain. The ink stains as the crushed earth rises again despite the anguish and blame, and we live beneath a god's breath, believing in retribution and worshipping wings. The fall of an empire within this land only fit for a king, and I make my amends with a demon of death, rekindling the flame to survive the strenuous strain that left my ancestors afraid, just wandering in a daze. And I'm lonelier now than ever, paying homage to the weather, whether or not this is the end. My words are forsaken, etched upon the skin of breathing men, echoing harp, just whispering in the dark. We are all woven to partake in playing a part. This once familiar face lays motionless, coming face to face with fate. Open the gates and let the breath invade your brain, fuel the fire to sustain your faith. This cataclysmic, cynical, mischievous rendition of a poet's prose, mixed with ideologies of growing old, humble with a mumble, just building towers to watch them crumble. The seasons change as we dabble with paint, managing to escape beyond the citadel's bells, where the witches of East Street dwell. with scars. Born an ocean apart, born a witness of the spectacular, but they betrayed me from the start. The orbits are precise, I can tell the planets are aligned, but I get a shiver down my spine the moment you press this rewind. And it's the same old sequence daily under this orange sun. Can you feel the murmur of the drums for the hypnotizing crush? Syncopated steps, one amongst the lush, and the mud I will be scattered amongst the dust once my time is up.
And when it's up, it passes. After the laughter comes fight, but a different kind than what the eye sees through sight. It holds you upright, but before you know it, you're falling. We can't ignore the calling, there's no escape or stalling. And no apologies, it only takes what it needs. It feels like you're sneezing, but on the inside you're bleeding and no longer breathing. It's meticulous and silent, it works in private, and it's not affected by the climate. We fight it in vain, and I try every day, knowing that I can float on or find a better way. For now it's unchanged, the same view from every angle. I'll continue against the grain, even though every step is painful.
Stop ticking, the crushed earth rises. Everything that was written and living ceases to exist amongst these remedial cycles, and we slowly sink into an abyss where the filament captures and conceals, drowning out the screams as we begin to bleed. And there isn't a way that we can fight back this decay. I lay motionless, just watching the ripples fade, just counting down the days as the winds take shape and the climates continue to change. Ominous clouds and hurricanes, volcanic spurts, nuclear, solar and organic. Satellites lose orbit, lights flicker amongst the radio static, which leaves me in a state of panic, and it's all tragic. And I can feel the pressure building, for today marks the day, a day when the season of killing.
And they were torn from the unborn, or vice versa from where you sit. It's the folklore now lost, buried with history, myth and mystery, with no answer in the wind. You play through injury, but the cancer grows within, and I don't know where it begins. I just hope one day it ends. We'll live in infamy, but I cleanse my hands as a remedy. That's the compromise, the sullen eyes watch the horizon. If bygones be bygones, you'll need a soft bed to die on.
When I'm writing it, like I write it long, but then when I start saying it, it cuts.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just leave it instead of shifting it.
Skeleton with wings, drowning with the sin. We are the weakened people, living with the guilt, hands bloody from the kill. We shall protect you from evil. A skeleton with wings, drowning with the sin. We are the weakened people, living with the guilt, hands bloody from the kill. We shall protect you from evil. Walking through this world, I stumble with the hurt, and albatross of love destroyed. Simple gestures, memories that wane and tremble. I'm sacrificed, given this deserted breath life, hypnotized by time. Blackbird smiles, shadows peering through the fog. I've heard lullabies beyond the end of a crying stem. I've carried my sins to where death begins. I've seen the wisest men beg with regret, but they can never forget the way she moved inside this light, brought the living to their end and watched them die. I mumbled my sighs, whispered words and tried to pretend, but the star that falls will never forget of the energy expended and the time well spent. Swaying above where reflections melt, there's a glimmer of hope for a world that wept. I keep stumbling on and passing by, a wandering man who's lost his pride, laying on the riverbed staring at the sky.
for the source. Fortunately, I've sworn on only a small portion of my lost causes dropped in a bottomless basket. That's my last chapter that I'll never close, pacing back and forth between the bookends of my growth. It's my daily stroll on a well-worn path, shape and length exact to interact with my age. Meals become pages, turned for half a day then waste, and I flush away the remains. But there is still the ache and stain of my presence. Stray hairs and skin flakes are left where I bathe, and it's small change, but the sum of the sheddings weigh heavy between cleanliness and the stink of the penniless. We move effortless, the weakened people climb. The battle never ends so long as there is time.
Skeleton with wings, drowning with the sin. We are the weakened people, living with the guilt, hands bloody from the kill. We shall protect you from evil. A skeleton with wings, drowning with the sin. We are the weakened people, living with the guilt, hands bloody from the kill. We shall protect you from evil.
Feeling a stealing moments from an open face clock, and locking the door upon self before selling out. There's no means to make it stop, falling into the flames that feed on moths, cautiously collapse into drop and roll, breaking the mold as we outgrow the tight jumpsuit worn as skin, to undo life from beginning to end. I won't be defending my sins as I lean against the gate, rinsing stains from my palms, regaining my original shape, sinking back into my face, retracing the steps to my fingerprints, returning breath to cigarettes, intellect to ignorance. This is to open discussion and focus the function of sunlight upon cheek, warming the inner heating from sleep. I break out of bed, stretching both ends of the spectrum, excess in every dimension, sidestep and discretion. Thus begins my heart's rhythm, the drum beat of the beast's consumption, the last to be judged when our sun dips into the westernmost ocean. It's the omen these sores will remain open, my oath soaked in 80-proof potion, which wets the flames but burns from the throat in. I'm hoping these hallways don't close in before I can fall into bed and shake these spins from my head.
The morning melody began with a night fell in the slumber, draped his mantle over the face of the earth. The strangers that departed shot, and we found the poet dead in the palace. It was quite unnatural, the maddening ramblings leaving us sad and sudden and quite fragile. Realities of disillusionment and anxiousness, categorical expressions of indifference, disruptive cries, reflections of memories, exaggerations and stoic responses to the voices, echoes on Sunday morning, speculations of subconsciousness, intoxication preceding a lake like some primitive fabulous of the self. Objects change and keep their separate trajectories through darkness and death. I inhale while love fades and my memory wanes in the distance within the schematics of space, leaving the mind still waiting aimlessly within the light trances of time.
I do not know what it is any more than he. I guess it must be the flag of my disposition, out of hopeful green stuff woven. Or I guess it is the handkerchief of the Lord, a scented gift and remembrancer designedly dropped, bearing the owner's name somewhere in the corners, that we may see and remark and say, whose? Or I guess the grass is itself a child, the produced babe of the vegetation. Or I guess it is a uniform hieroglyphic, and it means sprouting alike in broad zones and narrow zones, growing among black folks as among white. I give them the same, I receive them the same. And now it seems to me the beautiful, uncut hair of graves.
till I'm dead gone. Can't tell me nothing cause I'm headstrong. I'll be here popping till I'm dead gone. Can't tell me nothing cause I'm headstrong. Where you going, where you been, keep it flowing cause it can end. Some hate when they face my skin, that was my first taste of sin. Words don't hurt me, police they search me. When harassed, it just hurts. It's like they pits a shark, smelling blood, now they thirsty. Did heaven curse me, am I going through a phase? And the reason I get stoned is just to pass through the days. We either get jailed or blast away, till my last breath make the bastards pay. All my cash is coming slow, need a faster way. Life is a puzzle, hope you find the pieces, violence increases. Every song's a serenade, just another ghetto thesis. When I'm tempted by temptation, so meditation I'm embracing it. Never fall victim to persuasion, no matter the occasion. For stress I'ma keep blazing. Every day my kids I'm raising all over the world. Speakers to wait for the rifleman invasion. I stay perfecting my craft all day long. Get my headphones, hip hop until I'm dead gone. Gotta keep my head strong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong.
Dead wrong, apocalyptic hypocrisy, typical that cryptic, false prophecy, philosophy, I'm too explicit to solicit. The animosity surrounds your atrocity, simplistic versus the complexity through verses you caught it but missed it. Thought it was twisted with the logistics, ballistic wristlet with the physics marking you as a statistic. Stop barking, fool, you didn't take care of the dog that bit ya. Sharking you scripture, flip you to be focused out of the picture. The arsenal's dark and blue, purple and bruised and marginal. Burning with my arsenal full, flamethrower with brain control. Arching over your bishop as a flying paladin cardinal, serving everything you dished up. Overloaded with the mental body parts that'll blow when the party starts to show. When this whole kissed up, put your hypnotist down but gigs up. When we're skeletons to dig up, it's intelligence we wig up. Cough and hiccup, either jump in your coffin or throw your hands up, motherfucker. It's a sick up with constant elevation. I don't give a shit like eternal constipation. You need a tick up.
Well, I'm part of the sly, wicked and slick. It's like a spiritual gift. Series on the church marquee. I have everything a man could want, but I don't have nothing if I don't have you. Problems head on, so get on. It's like the disagreeing, it wasn't true. Can't get those memories of energy inside of my head. Problems I have, I can't forget them out. I'll sweat them out. Fuck a bill, fuck a mortgage. Love it or leave it. Young and hard of it, so be part of it. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. I'm headstrong, I'm obsolete. Any problems I had, I deal with them head on. I'm headstrong, we're obsolete.
Fuck the interference, I got the clearance. No dead weight, maintain heavy weight. Trusting ourselves as I walk the planet. Man, I deliver you to your burial site just to turn off the stereotype and detach the stigma attached to your whack raps. Understand where I stand in my ability. Gelroc, well known, master of my own. I delegate responsibility to constituents of influence. More big ideas with no IQ. Yeah, from the bottom truth to the top secret. We keep it obsolete. Small-minded suckers. We got no special interest in mental midgets. So quit being paranoid, all pumped up on your steroids. We're another day closer to death. Fuck it, I maintain composure fresh. Just another voice with another set of eyes, going through my highs and lows. Never disguise or judge my flows. Recognize the pros and the cons. The method's still strong and weak, but usually depends on the day of the week. Don't prey on the weak, I keep my priorities straight. I got dependence to feed and expression to free. Original underground hip-hop degree. Top dog, killer MC pedigree.
Protecting the next nectar, the untapped sap of the venomous mech scepter. Lampshades tilted to expose the wilted. Under the rays of the sun, the frozen melted. Only the ground felt it. The washing of the succumb of the sign jilted. It's sloshing in the scum. Manifesto manuscripts get wrestled away. Resolution hides for the rest of the day. And that's the plan to travel the rest of the way. You reside in the community, you suffer pointed immunity. Set yourself up a cottage, a low wattage. You wanted to stay Amish, but you're forced to pay homage. Bon voyage, voyage, the voyeur and the no age limit to be exposed to the lineage. I'll take any edge to hang my hat on. Pay the percentages and know when to add on.
I swim through the grimy ink, display my affection for all to take a pic. It's a dream that's revealed during winter's kiss. Bloodstained windows, alleyways smeared with piss. Welcome to a world ruled by arrogance and bliss. What this is about, friends, the end of the days where evil maintains and preys on feeble minds, trying to find a way to escape. The dungeons are filled with hate. I try to maintain in my meditative state, but I tried so very hard to find my way back home.
The headstrong caught you slipping with the red palm. From the top to bottom, lined up in columns, blindfolded and shot 'em. Building blocks of words, scattered randomly. It's assault of the earth, it's a coffin from birth. Trapped in this bubble, we crush the structure to dust to rebuild the rubble. Now our city's more subtle, the last of the huddled masses. With the passion to drop classics packaged as ration. You were set out to pasture, no room for masquerading. That's the fate when you make a habit of hating. The path is paved, but we remain headstrong. The last of a dying breed that you can always bet on.
Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong. Any problems I have, I deal with them head on. The weak are obsolete, you have to be headstrong.